control initialized.
Hey people, 5 Aces here. After just 1 week, we are back on agenda, and this is a Minions League match between SirCakealot and Blackened, both spawning as Russia. Now this is going to be a best of 2, so the factions are not going to be set in stone. Second match might be different, as in Minions you're allowed to pick any faction you want. This shouldn't distract us from the fact that this is going to be an entertaining match. I chose them for the length and also because they're showcasing 2 maps that I wanted to show. One of them being Agenda, and we've seen it last week with Kreese versus Amhol, but that was not a Global League match. So now let's see how the Global League players are treating this. We're seeing the first doggy out for SirCakealot and Grenadier Rush for Blackened. Both players actually have been around the competitive scene for a while. We're seeing an Engineer for SirCakealot, no signs of... back caps for... backwards capping order for Blackened. Ooh, a couple of crates being lit on fire here. Some dank wheat being just burnt down. Pretty sad. Also a couple houses. This lonesome civilian doesn't know where to go anymore. But anyway, we're having the Grand Rush coming in. And this map is interesting because it's so large, it's so huge, it's vast. It's a wasteland, and you have to pay attention on so many multiple fronts. Especially considering your capturing order. You always want to have at least one rifleman accompanying your capturing engineer. Because they're 500. 500 bucks is a lot in the early game. Anyway, the engineer for Blackened is a bit idle here. Also, by the way, just tricks of the trade. Don't do like a build order that I really like doing on maps like this. When you know that your opponent is going for an infantry heavy playstyle because there are lots of oil derricks, you go for a double refinery and take a first harvester and pull it. Ooh, we are seeing a bit of fun. Wow! Grant's killing an engineer. That's like at least 5 stars worth of veterancy. Awesome, also destroying the oil derrick. I like this. You never see Grenadiers being used to full effect. I love when they're actually successful. Yeah, but pull your first harvester out of the 2 and use it to tank, because they can tank riflemen for days. And it's so effective. You just run your first harvester around in a rampage. It feels like GTA. You're just like, GTA, motherfucker! Running around those roads, getting crushes and pushes on infantry, while he doesn't have enough rocket soldiers up yet to deal with you. Yeah, I really like what they're doing here. Also, by the way, Blackened's Grand is... Look at the Grands, they have a really, really weak throwing arm. It's... Maybe that's why their range is like 2 cells. Oh, a Flamer Rush has been revealed. It's only like 2 Flamers, 3 Flamers though. And this is chock-a-block full of either Grands, I guess it's Grands, must be Grands. Can't be rifles, like that would just be pointless. Anyway, those 3 Grands have proven their worth, very successful. And if they're turning around, you can see that their throwing arm is so weak. Like, it's so bad. The animation looks kind of wonky. Look at this. Their throwing arm is literally... Or is it the throwing arm? Maybe it's just the Grenadier pack. Oh no! Oh no. That's the 5 stack of Grants going down to 2 rocket soldiers. Slight slip of attention. Well, it's a crazy early game. I like that. I'm digging it. And here we've got the Flamer Rush. Oh yeah, burn it up, baby. Burn it up. Nice micro here by Blackened. Pulling the Flamers back as soon as he sees the flame tower being popped down. Oh, nice play, nice micro, nice focus. He's gonna get them out alive. Can still get a snipe on a rocket soldier. Should do it. Nah, he's too scared. Too scared? At the moment. Let's look at the econ graph. We've got 4 versus 5 harvesters. 5 over 4, that should favor Blackened, which it does at the current time being. And he's also just burning down a couple oil derricks. Really, really smart choice. His APCs have survived, so why not just go for a bit of a rampage here? Slampage and the dog. The dog still came into play. Grens and dogs. That's what the Soviets are all about. So we just want to see more dogs, guys. Dog and Grand Rushes. My favorite. So, Blackened is a really good eco, but he has like no units. I don't know how he's managing to do this. And here we're having 1 Grenadier and 1 Rifleman tackling an oil derrick. This might take a while. Well, the Grenadier does ridiculous amounts of damage. Like, that unit costs barely more than a rifle infantry. It's 160. They're dirt fucking cheap. What is the animation like? Look at when they're on this frame. This frame here. They're having like a weak-ass throwing arm. That's what I was talking about. Yeah. And also a deformed head in the other, on the other like frame of the animation. Really weird. Oh, the engineer trying to get in, but nope. No such luck. Meanwhile, we're still having an attack dog guarding the oil derricks. Keep in mind that SirCakealot has gotten away with scot-free, with just taking 2 more derricks. 4 technically, but 1 got burnt down. So yeah, really good econ start for both, and a radar dome rush for SirCakealot, followed up by a sneaky construction yard, deploying in the back lines. Usually this map is capture the middle or die, so let's see how this works out for him. I don't know how aggressive Blackened is gonna play here. It's gonna be fun regardless. This has already been a crazy early game. That must be hijackers. Like, yellow pips indicate either hijackers or engineers, and I don't see the need for transporting an engineer like this. A bit of an oversaturation if you ask me. 6 harvesters on 1 ore patch. Double ore patch, but still. No, and here's the distraction push. I know that this is only a distraction so he can get the harvesters. Yeah, is he gonna get it? There's 1. Can he get 2? But can he get 2? You should focus this one. No! Okay. That was a bit unlucky. That was not even micro. That was just Blackened's harvesters defaulting back to the refinery. So he has taken 1 out of 7 harvesters. Which... I guess Blackened is gonna be thankful because the oversaturation here has been killing him. Oh, the heavy tank going down for nothing. And what do we have here? A refinery being deployed. Good stuff, good stuff. Also the radar dome, I'm just not sure. What does the radar dome do at the current time being? Maybe he's rushing a tech center. Maybe he's going for an airfield. Airfield would be a smart choice on a map this large, of this scale. You wanna have some eyes in the sky. You wanna just park a yak here, park a yak there, and just scan the perimeter. Yeah, what I'm really surprised is how slow the growth has been for Blackened, considering he's on essentially 2 bases and lots of harvesters. Maybe the econ slide is just a bit late, yeah. Yeah, 5 of those harvesters are on dead ore patches. So the econ slide should have come way earlier. This one is also blocking off and slacking a bit. But there is a full load in. We are seeing 6 APCs loaded to the brim. This can only be good. What's it gonna be? What? A sneaky tech center expansion. Awesome. Just what I was hoping for. Okay, so what are we gonna see? We have Russia, so Shockies, I guess. Tesla tanks, maybe. Excuse me, my cold is still there. Also my throat. Oh, the radar dome revealed range. Zapping 1 of the APCs, so this is gonna be all or nothing. That's the entire army for... Oh, the entire army for Blackened. Going into SirCakealot's eco lines. Straight up murdering the harvesters. That's 1. That's... Do I see 2? Do I see 3? Yes, I do see 3, and that's 4. And that's it. He should have packed up again after killing the stuff here. Oh, there's the first Shoutcast being mixed in, and that's a good answer to those APCs. This is a medicine they won't like. This is not something you want to taste in the face of defeat here. Yeah, Shocky Rush. That's what the tech center is all about. Awesome. So we're seeing 3 harvesters though. Oh, that's gonna hurt SirCakealot's eco a lot. It's met with 7 harvesters, right? 7, yeah. So at this point, what is Blackened gonna do? Tesla coils are a good answer because they provide ridiculous range. Maybe just locking down the top side. And at this stage, I would go for V2s, but he doesn't have radar tech, so yeah. Also, concealed MCV, sneaky cheeky breaky MCV, just barely out of line of sight. Here we have, well, that's just a scouting APC. Maybe there to draw the attention to somewhere else. Oh, this is gonna be the push. This is gonna be mass dogs. 4 cannons, what? Oh my god, they're going in. Getting zapped by the Shockies though. That was such a good idea, but it just didn't pan out in the end. Okay, so despite what you might think, it's counterintuitive, but mass shockies do not counter mass mass dogs do not counter mass shockies. They just got the range and the burst damage. He's going in now. Can he get anything? No, he gets nothing. All the dogs just dying. All the dogs being fried. Fried dogs on the menu today. And it's glorious. Wow. So four harvesters for SirCakealot. Still a lot of eco to be desired. Like, the eco department is so bad for him. Where is Blackened going from here? I think he's just trying to snipe down the oil derricks, but he should be more mobile. Those heavy tanks. Don't let it. Oh, come on. Don't let your heavy tank get hit by V2. That's just a shame. And here we have a shocky push. How are you gonna answer a shocky push if you don't have Tesla coils here in main base? He needs radar tech stat, and he needs a radar dome right now. Firstly for the line of sight, but also it's so confusing. But also for flak sorry, I've just got a scatterbrain right now. I've got a case of the scatterbrain. No, he needs it for V2s. He needs mass V2s right now. That's all that can stop this push here. Everything else is just gonna feed itself into the shocky blob. MCVs are definitely not your first choice here. The flak truck's going in. And here comes the sappening. This is brutal. Oh, he's selling out. And this push is doomed to fail. There are more and more V2s coming out of the war factory here. Spamming flame towers is SirCakealot, and he's holding. Wow, that was just by the skin of his teeth. You know how many harvesters he had? He had 5 harvesters topside, and that was all his eco. He had put all his eggs in one basket, and he made it happen. He made the miracle work with just a couple shockies and V2 rockets. So radar tech and more importantly the tech center was what actually changed the game here. That was the nail in the coffin for Blackened. He had an eco lead, but the Soviet tech center here, standing strong, not being discovered. Or was it? I can't check anymore. God damn it. Yeah, Blackened is already revealed. Everything is revealed to him because he lost. I don't think he has scouted the tech center. And, you know, you remember the APC push here. If he had packed up the APCs, driven them a couple cells north, scouted the tech center, blown the tech center up, there would have been no more shock troopers, and this would have been a 4 harvester eco versus a at least 7 harvester eco. Also, really bad timing on those MCVs. I get that Blackened wanted to lock down the map, but he knew that there was a push coming because he has lost a couple tanks on the oil derricks. So he knew that there was something coming in. But he didn't reinforce, so that's one of those classic mistakes. You lose to a timing push despite being ahead in eco because you are forgetting your flanks. And that's exactly what happened to Blackened here. Also, huge overcommitment into dogs, which didn't work out at all. They didn't kill a single shock trooper. Shockies have too much range and burst for shockies to for the dogs to actually reach the shockies. So anyway, that's it for game 1. I'll see you in game 2.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
And round 2 is being played on Pit Fight, another one of the 1v1 maps that has been added into the Red Alert Global League map pool. It's SirCakealot again, spawning as Russia, and Blackened this time is Germany. So are we gonna experience any of the traditional Allies Soviet imbalanced discussions? We will see, we're about to see. Now this map, couple things about it. It's a bit more straightforward. It's basically like this open barren space with a gem mine, but the gem mine is not easily accessible because there are lots of buildings blocking off the deployment for an MCV, and it's hardly visible here, but there are lots of small patches of ore, like one cell spawns of ore scattered about, and those are preventing MCV deployment. So you might think you can cram an MCV in here, but you really can't unless you harvest it out with a harvester, and that requires mining time as well as APM. So generally you're better off just blowing up the buildings. Like this central area here is nice to blow up, and that can net you a nice deploy. Maybe here. This would be good, but there's a hospital in the way. But has that ever stopped anyone from deploying in Command & Conquer? No sir, it hasn't. Because, as we all know, hospitals, if you destroy them, spawn crates, healing crates to be precise, and churches spawn money crates. At least that was the way it was in the campaign. So we're seeing the special infantry for both factions. I was just about to say, who is gonna win, dog or medic, but the medic had backup, so it's a kind of an unfair fight. And that's Blackened taking the middle, taking the hospital for himself. Unfortunately, you can't capture the forward command. Used to be possible, but it was just a waste of 200 power, so you don't really want to do this. I think it got disabled in one of the releases. I would love to bring the forward command back as a tech building. Honestly, just give it a bit of line of sight. That's what I did in my in one of my modded maps, where it was just like, yeah, these can now see like what, 10 cells or something. So just so that they have a nice line of sight, give them some benefit. There's an engineer in the ranger, and the ranger is scouting the infantry. So another decisive victory here for Blackened, pushing back the infantry. Here comes an APC, but nothing too dangerous. It's empty. Not a loaded APC as we're expecting to see at this point in the game. It can get some nice crushes though. And keep in mind, medics are expensive. $200 for a medic. It's not a freebie exactly. So they're just yeah, chilling around the hospital. Nice crushes by SirCakealot, denying a lot of value from those medics. It's like, what, together with the riflemen, they cost 800. It's not cheap. And Blackened has the ranger and he's got the engineer, so what he can do is try and go for a double cap. Would be a smart thing to do. Yeah, I think he's doing it here. Ranger just taking on the infantry and then poking in, deploying an engineer and blocking off the path. He should move a bit forward, maybe like to here, because this I think is still in range. He could block in theory, but I think this is in range of the APC. Yeah, APCs have 3.5 cells of range, so that was kind of obvious. He should have moved a bit more forward. He should have blocked here, and then there would have been no way in for the APC. Instead, we're getting a grain rush, obviously. Like, I really love how these people are thinking. Especially SirCakealot is really creative with his early engagements, his harassment. He's never one who gives you stuff for free. You know, he might not be the most top tier player or the most aggressive player, but you could always expect him to throw something at you. And he's someone who is willing to experiment with off-meta stuff. I've seen him rush hijackers, I've seen him try lots of different grenadier cheese rushes, lots of engineer cheese rushes. Like for example here, that's just a hijacker. It failed, but hey, it was cool regardless. And here we're seeing a Grand Rush, completely unanswered for now. Wait, where did the other? Oh, there. The others were still in the clown car. Ooh. Nice, good stuff. The animation playing twice. And see, he also got a double cap off. While this was happening, he was keeping Blackened busy, and while this was happening, he was taking the Derrick. It's like, it's a freebie, thank you. Engineer can die off, but it's fine because Blackened doesn't have an engineer either and knows this. So yeah, good stuff. Blackened again with stellar eco, 6 harvesters, but what did he make of it? Nothing really. He's lost all his early engagements. Here we're seeing the Gren APC probably running into 4 rocket soldiers. That would be his demise. Oh, backhanded bazooka, just sniping down the APC, and yeah, the last remaining grenadiers meet a similar demise here. Meeting their demise. Oh, this is in range of the flame tower. Bad micro on Blackened's part here. Could have gotten a couple more. A lot more value out of his ranger, let's put it that way. He's gotten an expansion out, and it's flanked by a couple of riflemen, nothing too special. So we're seeing I really like this because we're seeing a super standard style versus a crazy bonkers style. Ouch, the Tesla coil deploys right into a couple rocket soldiers, but yeah, goes down regardless. It's so fun to watch SirCakealot play because he's one of those really crafty players who's always gonna find something different. Like, look at this here, another hijacker. One more, plus an APC. What's it gonna be? It's gonna be a couple harvesters in the backlines, I guess. Thank you very much. Blackened is floating. He's done this before. 6k. That's a pretty big float, buddy. He's targeting the oil derricks, which, like, that would be his own oil derrick. But it's at this point probably not worth going for the engineer. Oh no! Don't tell me he's gonna. This is blocked off. This is blocked off. You can't deploy here. Oh my god! He's done it. He has fucking done it. He has stolen an MCV with a hijacker. Holy tits! So this opens up all kinds of different cheese possibilities. I was just talking about SirCakealot being a crafty, creative player. Now he can go buck wild because now he's got the double tech up. Now he can go for whatever he likes. He can go for Tanya as Soviets. He can go for a like, what can he do? Shocky Ranger, stuff like that. Like his creative. Oh, a Shock Nook, a Shock Trooper Chinook would be awesome. So the only thing you can't get with this setup are vehicles, as the Eco Slide catches 2 Autrax out of position. I just wanted to talk about the only thing you cannot get this way are allied vehicles. And the reason for that being is that the war factories are the same for Soviets and allies, but everything else is different. Like you've got the Soviet barracks versus the allied barracks. They're 2 different buildings, and only the allied MCV allows you to build allied barracks. Same with the helipad versus airfield, same with subpen versus naval yard, but it's not true for the war factory, so you cannot get an allied war factory from an allied MCV. You can just get the default war factory from whatever faction you're playing. So we're not gonna see medium tanks for SirCakealot, or no artilleries, which is not a shame, honestly. I'm not very mad about that. He's still going for a standard heavy tank infantry supported playstyle. That's good enough, good enough. He doesn't need to fight here because there's a numbers advantage for Blackened. The heavy tanks are having a notoriously bad turret rotation. Also, rate of turn. So yeah, at least one of them biting the dust, but that's okay. Oh, he has deployed. Sorry, I missed this. There has been a rocket APC in the backline sniping an Autrac. Pretty good. Keeping down the eco of your opponent. Very, very good. And now this is gonna transition into a helipad for Soviets. This is gonna be... Actually, thinking about this, there is so much rocket infantry, I would probably rather have a Yak at this point. A Yak could suicide into this blob, while the Hind is probably not gonna make it, because it's not gonna travel forward while being shot down. And it's gonna be shot down very, very easily. Yeah, there we go. In this situation, I would have preferred a Yak. It would have crashed into the blob, done a lot of damage, but regardless, good engagement here. And Blackened still has the numbers advantage. Just needs to take care of his medium tank here, and he is good to go. Nice micro, by the way. He has split his control groups for riflemen and rocket soldiers. As you can see, the rocket soldiers are to the bottom, the rifles to the top, and they're supporting each other. Really good stuff. The first artillery is gonna take... Oh! The Hind being shot down immediately. But here are the flak trucks. That's exactly what SirCakealot wants. He can find so many artilleries if he can find the flank here. Like, look at the flank. He's out-rotating the rocket soldiers. And yes! He gets a snipe on the artillery. The other artillery goes down as well. One more to go. One more for old time's sake. Look at this. As long as you keep the flak trucks moving, they are going to survive under artillery fire. That's how you deal with artilleries, ladies and gentlemen. For all those complaining about the artilleries being OP, they are not. You just build a couple flak trucks and outmaneuver them, just like what SirCakealot did here. Really good micro. I love seeing this. So what's his transition gonna be? I guess it's flak trucks and helicopters. It's a really, really good composition here because they give you so much line of sight, and this allows you to get some really, really good snipes off. Yeah, the only thing that's not good against is static D, and the static D is going to be plentiful because Blackened is hunkering down here. Hunker down, boys! I think the game is still wide open despite SirCakealot's advantage, but he's building more and more allied barracks. This can only mean one thing. Is it gonna be a medics push? We're gonna find out, guys. I am hyped. This match is really good so far. even better than game number 1. Look at this. This is such a good composition. Because this can, like they can go in, do the poke, the Hinds do the poking and scouting, and the flak trucks are the cleanup crew. They are gonna kill the enemy Hinds, they're gonna kill the artilleries, and if he gets an Iron Curtain coupled along with this, then it's probably GG. Spelling the GG out. Spelling it out loud like a spelling bee. Here comes a scout from behind, but he doesn't dare venture too far. No sir. There is a massive flak blob here. Probably trying to deny the expansion up top. And yeah, this is okay, 6 flak trucks are just gonna wipe Hinds off the face of the earth. At this point, if I were Blackened, I would go for medium tanks because I would know that any other transition is not gonna scale. Against mass flaks, mass Hinds, you need some heavy armor. You need medium tanks, maybe even harvesters for tanking. By the way, that's the thing. If your opponent is lacking in the anti-armor department, which SirCakealot is kind of doing, like he's got what, 4 or 5 rocket soldiers, then you're actually very well off just pulling a couple of war trucks, moving them in. But instead he's going for a tech center rush. He's not in the position to do this. I feel like this is a very brave effort, but not the best idea. Couple of E2s trying to get some chip in. No one has taken the middle yet. If I were SirCakealot and I were in his position. 3v2? No? No, moving away, just in time. Okay, if I were in the shoes of SirCakealot and I would just want to cement this game in the victory for myself, I would just kill those buildings now. Deploy an MCV maybe here. You can't kill those utility poles, it's really annoying. That's the way the game is coded. They are not treated as objects. They're treated as scenery. The V2 doing a nice 360 turn here, but getting sniped after the line of sight is established. So if Blackened can hold out until the GPS satellite comes online, then I see chances for him. Wow. I've never seen this before. Do you see what I'm seeing, guys? This is gonna be shocks and medics. Yes! This is awesome. Oh my lord. Shocks and medics, that's one of the deadliest compositions I can think of in this game. Let's crack the attack here. Let's look at the assets. They're still not that far behind as Blackened. It's like 10k behind. It's not an unsurmountable lead. He could still come back, especially with the GPS satellite. Nice snipes here. That was just Blackened trying to camp the ore field and getting some value out of that. But instead SirCakealot can move his MCV out in peace. This is interesting though. Like, I'd imagine that there's gonna be an Iron Curtain anytime soon now. No, there's not. There's a Mammoth tank. Mammoths, Shockies, and Hinds. Like, this is a horrible composition to deal with. Sure, you could go for mass. You could go for mass artilleries, but the artilleries are gonna get snagged by counter artillery or by mobile flags with Iron Curtain or Hind support. So that's not an option. A 5 stack of Hinds probably trying to find a snipe on the Conyard. Oh, there's a spy as well. Like, SirCakealot is building everything out of the Allied arsenal as Soviets. I love this game right now. Oh, and he's gonna find an unprotected Conyard. He's gonna find himself a snipe here. That one is going down for sure. There's nothing Blackened can do. Ooh, he got the refund. Awesome. At least that denies the bounty. Sure, it doesn't bring you much. It gave him like $83. Congrats. But it denies the bounty, which is good. And these 3 light tanks are only gonna scout death. Let's look at this happening. Oh! And she's gonna be like, oh well. That's shock troopers. Time for plan B. Time to rush a nuke, I guess. There is no anti-air. So this is gonna be a counter snipe. This is the Allied Conyard. Oh shit, man. The Allied Conyard is down. So what? Oh, that's a flank with the mobile flag onto a completely on a Hind blob that's completely out of ammo. Wow, 5 Hinds going down. 5 Hinds for a Conyard, bad trade, but at least denying allied tech. So what he could have done is undeploy. Because if you undeploy... Oh, that's gonna be it! The Mammoth tank is... Wow. Mammoth tank is tanking, doing its job, and here we have shocks and medics. How are you gonna stop this? Can't stop the shock, you can't stop the shock. Yo guys, this is gonna be the new theme song here of my show. You can't stop the shock, you can't stop the shock. Do the music for me, guys. This is music to my ears. Awesome. Yeah. Mobile flags. Shock troopers being healed up to full. This is the nightmare of every allies player. As soon as you hear the sound, like you bring one of those shockers into the red and it just goes back up to full health. This is where you know you fucked up. It was at this time the Blackened knew being fucked up. Yeah, never let your opponent take your Conyard, especially if they're Russia. Don't let them get medics. Won't it's gonna hurt your chances to win. What a game! This has been an awesome match. Like, game 1 was good, game 1 was fun, but this was the meat and cheese. This was the bread. This was awesome. I am hyped. Shocks and medics. Yeah, guys, remember the new theme song is gonna come out on iTunes. Can't stop the shocks. Awesome, what more is there to say? The hijackers, I've finally seen a game where the hijackers really paid off. Like, I've seen a couple before with High, because High just tries every random shit until it works. He just throws as much shit at the wall as until it sticks. But this is Blackened versus SirCakealot, and this was a competitive match in the Minions League. One of the best matches I've casted in a very long time. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. Shocks and medics, guys, do it. Also, I would have loved to see a shock knock. It didn't happen, but that's life. He still could have got... No, he couldn't have gotten Tanya because he didn't get the time to get the Russia Tech Center out. The only reasonable mistake I saw from SirCakealot was not undeploying the MCV, because then the husk could have been recaptured. Because the prerequisites for building a mechanic were there. He had allied barracks and he had a service depot. So he could have recaptured his allied Conyard. Anyway, awesome. Remember to buy Can't Stop the Shocks on iTunes. Gonna put the link into the description, Kappa. Subscribe to my Minecraft Let's Plays. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next week. 5 Aces, out.
Battle control terminated.